It was worth it to save the scrapyard, but I am not loving being in this old body again. I can barely walk. The replacement is ready?
Yes, just about there. System on. Calibrating. Okay, here we go.
Are you going to check my reflexes?
No, those hospital days are over. Fortunately, android problems aren't usually fatal. I can see that you've transferred just fine.
Okay, it's your turn. Don't worry, I'll numb it first. The worst part is over. You'll be fine, but you need to rest a while until the anesthetic wears off. Do you ever miss your job at the hospital?
In some ways.
You've never told me the details.
Yeah, I usually try to forget about it. But after what you've just been through with Diana, I guess you deserve a good story. I was a provider in the ER. It was very fast-paced. Each shift was a marathon of mental and physical endurance. It was exhausting. On a good day, it was fulfilling too. Dealing with life and death situations every day, you learn to disassociate from it. You just can't take it home with you because it would eat you up inside. The providers have gradually transferred the emotional work to the androids on staff. They're better suited for it. Anyhow, at the start of each shift, I would wash up and check the tracking board. I tried to hurry because the waiting room was almost always full. The patients were triaged in two ways. First, the severity of their condition was checked by the triage nurse.
Why are you here tonight?
Because my son isn't breathing right. He's been gasping for an hour. Please get us in soon.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Let's start by checking his vitals.
People with life-threatening conditions were of course given the highest priority. And then there were people who came in with problems that shouldn't be treated in the ER, like warts or dental problems, who were sent home. And then there was everything in between.
I've heard about the second triage system.
It's inhumane. The patients with less human DNA are given lower priority. I remember a night where I gave stitches to a man with minor lacerations while a hybrid man was dying of stroke complications in the waiting room. There was another time when I helped a woman with a hairline fracture in her radius while someone died of a heart attack. Eventually, I decided I couldn't just stand by and watch it happen anymore. So during my shifts, I started tampering with the triage system. I was finally able to help the ones who needed it most. But then one night, my boss stopped in unexpectedly and found out. They threw me out unceremoniously into the alley. They confiscated my car and bank account for damages. And they put my name on the central list so I could never work a level 1 job again. After weeks of applying for every job available, I found the caretaker position here at the scrapyard. Jenny, I'm feeling really nauseous.
You should start to feel better soon. There's a trash can on your right if you get sick. We really appreciate everything you've done for us here. While we're on the subject of the hospital, I have to ask you, I heard there's a synthetic digestive system in the basement.
That's true too. It started as a cost-saving measure to deal with the hospital's hazardous waste. They built a complete system for disposing of it. The workers feed the mouth several waste meals a day. It passes through several stomachs into the colon, where the liquids are removed, and eventually excrement comes out in the exit chamber. As you can imagine, working in the basement is just horrible, so the hospital staff sit with people who can't say no, the ones who can't pay their bills. Many of them have to work for years to pay off their debts. The parking garage was in the basement, so I always looked in there when arriving and leaving. My heart goes out to those people. Some things in this world will never make sense to me.
Like having your tooth fixed in a garage by a tiny droid?
Yes, especially while advanced methods are available within a few blocks of here. You know, at the hospital, I had friends in most of the departments. We used to meet for lunch and talk about the newest research and types of care being offered. There are wearable therapies for most of the major diseases. It's incredible to see someone's quality of life improve right before your eyes. People who can't conceive on their own are using artificial wombs.
Isn't that how your daughter was born?
Yes, my sweet little girl. That's a long story for another day. Jenny, I'm feeling lightheaded.
Probably just the anesthetic. Let's give it time. Tell me more about the hospital.
In radiology, AI is helping to give accurate and early diagnoses, and robotic surgery has greatly improved procedures. Patients are waking up with less pain and recovering faster. The bioprinting of organs has eliminated the need for donors.
People must be quite relieved to have all of these new options available.
Yes, they are, at least, the ones who can afford it. Jenny, I don't know how it would ever happen, but the whole system needs to change.
Where are you taking me?
You'll see.
No! Please!